John Fowler is the referee in charge of this round 2 game where England and New Zealand toe the hockey together. This is the best of 5 sets.
Good evening, everybody, and as ever a palpable sense of warmth at the arrival of Andy Hamilton. But having said that, Darren Herewini has already made himself a lot of friends over here, and that very eye-catching walk-on, you could see that being a good ticket to a little bit of future success.
Yeah, I think it would be no accident if Darren makes a name for himself in the coming seasons. I've seen him play a little bit in the past, but in his first game I saw enough, John, to get me very excited about the future for him.
Andy Hamilton seeded number 12. This is his first match of the competition this year. Darren Herewini had to come through a preliminary first round match against the left-hander Simon Stainton, and he showed a lovely rhythm to his throw, good style, and also appearing to have a good temperament, because he went behind and clawed his way back and played pretty well to come through and clinch it.
If there's one thing I know about Kiwi dart players, it's that they don't give up, and Darren definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. He's had some stuff to think about this week, like the late arrival of his shirts from New Zealand. They were supposed to arrive about 4 months ago, apparently, according to him, but they only arrived in the course of the last few hours.
First set, first leg, Andy to throw first.
So Hamilton has won the bull-up, and he gets the action underway. Andy now 52 years old, and trying to regain former glories. Great start.
One of the only players
140
in the draw that has experience of playing in this building. Not at Indigo, but in the very main hall.
2012 Premier League finals.
60.
Yeah, lost out to Simon Whitlock, but no shame. He was involved in one of the best legs in darts history in that game, where Andy was butchering the 60, and then Simon Whitlock went on hit 9 dart leg.
85.
Yeah, that's a bit antisocial, isn't it?
Borderline unfair, John. Yeah, one of the characteristics of
45.
these guys' games is definitely enjoying it and letting the fans know, and the viewers at home, just how much they enjoyed a certain checkout. Because there's one thing I know about Andy, who's affectionately known by 2 certain nicknames by his friends. One is
45.
And, short for Andy, and the other one is just Hammer. Is that he's got the greatest laugh in the world. It's just it's like a Henry VIII type laugh. It's full of gravel and
100.
excitement and passion.
He's good fun. Not seen him for a month or 2, and as soon as I saw him in the players' lounge in the warm-up area, it's like I saw him yesterday. He's one of those sort of fellas. He's a good lad.
Yeah, I've been privileged to spend a lot of time with Andy in the last 10, 11 years.
59.
When he walks into a practice room, if you're playing him, you're in trouble. But if you're not playing him, it's usually a giggle or 2. But the one thing that Andy tends to do just before 94. Any match is he switches off, gets the earplugs in, and 60 minutes before a game he'll properly get into a zone, which has served him very well in his career.
He's trying to get himself onto a decent finish here from 172. Ton of behandy, and a ton's delivered. A few of those people saying don't tell the wife that I'm here. An awful lot of guys going missing to be here at the darts.
58.
Don't know where they're supposed to be.
Andy requires 72.
So 72 for the opening leg on throw. Good dart. 48. Double 12. Very slow, methodical sort of player, Hamilton. And put that away beautifully.
First leg, Andy Hamilton.
One leg in the bank, and the first yelp from
Second
Hammer.
leg, Darren to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, proudly from Stoke, of course, Andy Hamilton, which is almost like the capital of darts throughout the world.
100.
The amount of talent that has come from that part of the West Midlands is quite frightening.
Herewini was actually the bookies' favourite to win this one, quoted at 6-4 on.
I'm not so sure about that, you know. Considering Andy's steady season and his experience, you know, there was very little pressure on Herewini in the previous game. But here, if he's seen that he's the favourite, maybe the pressure's telling a little bit. But I've got to say, John, I watched the Herewini game a couple of days ago and I was alarmed by how straight his darts were. I would love to have seen, yeah. You get a lot of really good dart players and they have the odd 5 and the odd 1 and they hit the 7 of the 3 going for 19s, but Herewini just so straight, never seemed to stray left or right. Great technique.
Well, he's taken just a minute or two just to settle into it. Maybe we'll see that he's going to get into his stride now. The Bull's Head in Croydon. Ever been?
I think I've walked past it.
You want to stop next time, you get a great welcome.
Not too far from where I live, actually. I'm just south of there.
100.
Nothing in it on this leg.
I think she might be a Mikuru Suzuki fan. With that little baby shark card. Well, she's going to have to wait for about an hour.
60.
She's next up against Maria O'Brien. They were actually out there playing earlier on, and the guy who does the music, they were playing him the aisles, and the guy who does the music here to keep people entertained put the test match special theme on. Soul Limbo while they were playing.
144.
Booker and the MGs.
Quality. Herewini's not going to take the 144 now. Aggressive throw.
100.
Gets him a ton. And Hamilton can steal a break of throw.
67.
Should get 1 dart, might get 2 for the leg.
Looking at 17. Gets the single. And now goes to double 16.
51. Darren requires.
He'd be disappointed
44.
not to take it. Wasn't a poor effort. Herewini can save a double 16 himself.
36.
Chances like that you cannot miss against Hamilton early.
Well, this is an early break opportunity.
Andy
and
requires 16.
Andy will be very, very disappointed if he doesn't take this one out. Double 8 for 2-0 for the break of throw. Really is best of order. You can almost hear a pin drop. Oh, he's missed it.
No score.
Those last 2 darts were wire benders.
Darren requires 8.
Look at the fingers from Herewini for double 4. Yeah, and there's a little bit of a yell back. We're going to see plenty of that. And that's why I'm really excited for this game.
Andy to throw first.
There's a real shout of delight from Herewini. 1 apiece. Game on here.
I mentioned that Stoke's a bit of a hotbed for phenomenal dart players, and here's the proof.
125.
Well, I was just going to say, that would have been the 3rd leg that he'd opened with a 140, and then he goes and gets a 5 with his final dart, so it's almost a good line.
Yeah, he's just spoiling the script, John. But New Zealand darts has
81.
provided us with some great talents over the years. Mark McGraw, of course, the last couple of seasons at Lakeside. Didn't qualify this time around. Herewini took the opportunity after winning the World Cup singles in Romania a few months back.
Brilliant cover shots. That's a little bit of a glimpse of the Hamilton of old. Been working to try and get his game back. He went through
60.
a spell when he had injury problems, when he had troubles with his eyesight. Wore glasses for a while, but now seems to be getting it back together, playing in those specs and starting to find some better
34.
form.
I think it goes to show that even if you don't wear specs through your entire life, you can adapt. And Wolfie, he was someone who has always worn them.
97.
But someone like Andy, for instance, who has recently had to add them to his arsenal, he may have had to make small changes to where the dart comes back towards the bridge of his nose.
Had to make changes to his diet as well. He was one of those who has had to contend with type 2 diabetes.
46.
Sure, he wouldn't mind me mentioning that, because he's got on top of it and he's started to get himself fitter, and starting as a result of that, controlling
81.
his blood sugars to be able to find more consistent darts.
Yeah, I'm sure the energy levels will feel better after the small changes. He's also made equipment changes over the course of the last few seasons. He's gone to a new manufacturer and had to create a new dart,
53.
a new setup, and it takes time for that to happen with someone like Andy, who was never one to chop and change his kit.
Could be a chance here for Herewini to put some big pressure on. Needs another treble if he could have found that, but he's still in a handy place on 82. Puts pressure on the Hamilton throw, 109 needed.
Maximum one dart at a double, and he should get it now. He's going to utilise the 17. Oh, that's a really good single, right in the middle.
77.
Clips the wire again in the bottom left corner of the board.
Darren requires
close down
82.
But just slightly wide. Looking for the bull with his opening dart. So that is 57 remaining. Gets the 17 for tops.
62.
Good effort from Darren,
And he requires
but it's just not quite
32.
good enough. He's given 3 clean darts to Hammer to get back in front. That is a really good guide for Andy. Oh well, now that he can't see most of that double 8, he's going to have to create an angle because his dart sits slightly to the left. The only way he can hit this double 8 is at the top.
No score.
Well, he hit the dart and it's gone low, you see. It was blocking the bed.
Darren requires 20.
20 then for Herewini for the break of throw. Good dart.
Game shot in the third leg.
Herewini ahead.
Darren Herewini.
Break of throw. Now throws to the set.
You know what was good about that dart, John? It was
Fourth leg,
nowhere near
Darren
double
throw
15.
first.
Double
Game
15
on.
lurks south of double 10. But if you do have a bit of an adrenaline dart and you go high into double 6, you still have double 4 in the bank. The first game of this afternoon session, we saw Justin Hood have double 10 and he hit double 15 in what was a very key shot. But on this occasion,
60.
Herewini was wise and he hit the high part of the double 10, as you can see there.
Very proud of his Maori background is Darren. And a real Maori style walk on, isn't it?
85.
Yeah.
That catching on, I could see that becoming a big trademark if his darts improve sufficiently to really make himself a big career.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I've played against a few Maoris in my time.
100.
One of the best was Bernie Smith of New Zealand. And Bernie was one of the first to record a 9-darter in the Southern Hemisphere. Fabulous player.
43.
Hamilton just going off the boil a little. Started really well. Herewini looking to close this one out to take the opening set. First to 3 to
60.
win the match and take a place in the next round.
A little bit of double trouble in this first set for Andy. Has allowed Herewini in. And he's just got a few things on his mind. Got to start thinking about positive things right now and staying in that lipstick, which he's managed to do after a slack one with dart 2.
Winner of this one plays the Welshman Wayne Warren in the last 16. It's a good game.
He's no shrinking violet either.
No.
This is the shouters part of the draw. And I'm not just talking about Wayne, I'm talking about his daughter too.
Family trait.
41.
I'm telling the truth when I say this. When Wayne Warren was playing, I could hear his daughter celebrating from the commentary box, and there's easily 4 walls in between us.
Presumably lives in a detached house and a fair amount of land.
140.
She might be the town crier.
Hamilton gets himself onto a finish, playing well here. Looking for the immediate break back, and he's got a great opportunity.
60.
And he's got 6
And he
darts from
requires
112.
112.
Yeah, he's put himself in a good position. to take us to a one-leg shootout for this first set. That's no good. He just wants to lay up for a double now. 90 left.
40.
And Herewini is not out of this leg. He can still win the set from this position.
Tell you what, ton 40 had put that 72 under a bit of pressure if he could find that. Studying concentration. That's not in the treble 20. Oh dear.
40.
That is not what he wanted.
Massive
And
difference between
72.
that hitting the 20 and leaving 120 as opposed to 140. If he gets a shot, he needs 3 perfect darts. And he only needs 1 perfect dart. Oh, he needed that one in the single though. I was taking for granted that that was going to go into the 16 and it hasn't. And now all of a sudden that dart on the floor may be costly for Herewini.
40.
See the frustration and displeasure on the face of Andy Hamilton when that happened.
140.
Now then, Herewini on a ton 40. Can't do it now. So Hamilton will get another opportunity. Double 16
55.
again, the target.
Andy requires 32.
Time to right some wrongs, Andy, in the bottom left corner. Got plenty of support out there. Zoning it out. 1 shot left.
24.
Double trouble. 85 for the holder
Darren
throw.
requires 85.
He's taking his time, trying to get himself mentally right, trying to get the real focus. Well, he's going for 15 there, gets a 10, 75, and then he wanted the 25, and he's not got that either.
35.
And he's going for 25 and bull, and you can see Andy chatting away to himself right now. Can't believe
Andy
that
requires
we're not playing
8.
the 5th leg yet. 2 4s.
No
No,
score.
sir. Dragged it low into the double 13.
Darren requires 50.
So Herewini.
Double 16 for the set.
34.
Neither dart for the set goes in. I can't believe he got the chance. But those chances have gone.
Hamilton, if he wins this,
Andy
I
requires
think
8.
you would say he's led something of a charmed life in this leg. Double 4. That should be a good marker. Well, where did that go? I think that hit the wire on the 4.
score.
Never mind the wire on the scoring area.
Yeah, that was a bad dart from Andy on dart 2. And that didn't breed any confidence for dart 3 either.
Darren requires
And
16.
Herewini will think it's Christmas. Just a look of disbelief as if to say, I can't believe I'm getting more set darts. But he's getting 3 of them.
Game
and he only
shot
needs
in the
1.
First set. Darren Herewini.
First set to Herewini.
Ladies and
As I said a
gentlemen,
little
I'm going
earlier,
to ask you now,
the
can you not
6-4
call out what
on
the players are
favourite.
actually throwing? It's all right cheering in between.
John
but not
Fowler
what they're
trying to get a
actually
bit of
throwing.
best
Thank
of
you.
order to make sure that the players are not put off, and you can hear that
Second
an
set,
appreciative
first
crowd
leg, Darren
likes
to
that
throw
piece of
first.
instruction. A lot of
Game
people
on.
here, of course, good players themselves, come from all around the country to be here. Members of the various darts associations.
93.
Well, Darren's definitely travelled the furthest. I can't imagine anybody's travelled further to here than he has.
Well, he's got Justin Thompson, hasn't he, who's cheering him on. He was the last man to give him a hug as he went onto the stage. He's the Aussie. He's probably
137.
the nearest contender.
Yeah, I'd say so. Tom Moore from Swan Hill, Victoria. It takes him at least 4 hours to drive to Melbourne Airport.
59.
And then rather more to fly over here.
Slightly. And then, of course, Tori Kewish in the ladies' draw. She's from Melbourne, so she was a late addition, so she knows all about travelling to Europe from Tullamarine.
Poor averages there, but that's a result of all those missed doubles. And there is a maximum, first maximum of the match for Andy Hamilton.
Just getting a glimpse in the crowd there of Andy's partner, Chloe. She can barely watch.
Well, she knows probably more than anybody how much it would mean to him to get back to that old form if he could some way find a way back. Got to find a way to win this match first.
Correct. Andy lives and breathes and eats and sleeps darts. I don't know many other players who work so hard.
16.
Look at that, 16 missed doubles already for Andy, 1 out of 17. That's going to knacker anybody's average.
Yeah, the average is definitely out the window, and right now it's about scrapping his way, and neither player is playing their best stuff tonight. But you get these games sometimes where you've really got to just go to the mattresses and find something.
Good dart, 64 needed. Needed treble 16 for double 8, but he leaves it in a nice setup because Herewini not on the finish.
You can see that Herewini is just taking a few extra seconds as he gets to the oche because he's quite quick to get to that mark, and Andy's going to take his time to retrieve those 3 darts from the board.
1 out of 17 on doubles then for Big Andy, the hammer. Needs double 16. Double 8, he's not getting near. Double 8.
That first dart is blocking the double 8 again. He might, if he's lucky, have a third of the bed to aim at. Through the 2 of them.
Moved across to the right of the oche.
Game shot,
and he's found it. He managed to thread it through. Oh, sort of needle in a haystack stuff. Great dart.
See, this is another reason why we love darts, John, because he can't hit an open double, but he can hit one where it's got 2 blockers. What a fabulous shot from Andy.
Yeah, great precision dart. Gets his nose ahead in this second set, but he's a set down.
58.
You see again from another angle, and look at how narrow that target area was between the 2 blocking darts.
Seen a couple of shots like that today.
57.
And they're the ones that really make you smile. Don't get me wrong, you like to hit any double, but when you hit a difficult shot like that, it really does make you think that you can hit anything on the dartboard at any moment.
93.
Andy last treble.
Not sure how much Herewini knows about
60.
Kiwis that have come to the BDO World Championships in previous times and how they're regarded around the world. I mentioned Mark McGrath earlier, who came a couple of times and had a little bit of success. No really deep runs though. I go back to the times of Peter Hunt, who was a great
48.
Kiwi dart player. Of course, all of his pals over there, like Warren French and Warren Parry, Rob Zarbo, Phil Hazel, great Kiwi dart players.
100.
Right now, I think he's good pals with Cody Harris, who has repositioned himself in Central Europe to try and make this a profession of his.
Hamilton finding the trebles elusive.
94.
Needed that.
And one of the features of the Hamilton game, which put him at the top of the
96.
top of the game a few seasons ago, was really heavy scoring and aggression, and there seems to be a lot of hard work going into this game right now for Andy, and he's just trying to find maybe 50% of that scoring power, and if he finds it, the aggression will come.
Runner-up in the Grand Slam in 2007,
58.
where he played brilliantly to get to the final before being tailored by you-know-who. World final, he lost out to Adi Lewis in 2012 and then beaten again by Phil Taylor in the final of the UK Open in 2013. Good darts, great darts.
That's the only number flashing before your eyes when you're on 188. Max it up to leave double 4, and Herewini really enjoyed that one. 619s, there's 3. Another one. Fabulous dart from Andy Hamilton. Double 18 for 150 out. Oh, right in the middle. He can't get a double with 3 darts in hand most of the time, but he's just checked a biggie.
Well, that was vintage Hamilton, and he wants the crowd with him. Really milking that reaction to a terrific checkout.
Third leg, Darren to throw first.
And the punch of congratulation from Darren Herewini. Didn't know too much about Andy Hamilton, I don't think, or if he did, he wasn't prepared to talk about him. He's finding out at first hand that he can still throw the odd dart.
Best of order, please.
Oh, I like that. Dart players like to see great darts, whether they throw them, and sometimes they don't want their opponent to do it, but that was a really nice mark of respect from Darren Herewini.
He was poised as well, wasn't he? Double 4 had he got remaining?
Yeah, he just maxed.
He just had that 180,
58.
and then Hamilton hits him with a 150 checkout. Top darts. Small crew.
Canvey Island, maybe?
It's a duo, it's not a crew, that.
People yet to arrive, maybe.
81.
It's more of a canoe than a transatlantic liner, isn't it?
That crew needs a kayak.
58.
Ah, the Baby Shark fan. My kids like that piece of music. I think you've kind of got to be under, what, 13 to really get away with that?
I was going to say 10.
100.
That's a beautiful thing about Mikuru, though. She's brought some fun to the game, as well as some brilliance.
Good dart. Power to add. Oh, great dart.
140.
Snuck in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, take note of the follow-through of Darren Herewini the next time he throws, because every single dart gets so much attention, doesn't even think about throwing the next one until the other one's gone.
140.
Hamilton favourite to win this one, though, and square up the match by taking the second set.
Look at that. Purposeful follow-through. Then he goes for the next dart when that one is completed. Technique-wise,
100.
that is as good as you'll see.
Well, he's just had 150, so 97,
97.
a mere bagatelle, you'd think. Looking at 19. And gets a 7, 92. Well, he went bull, I think. Has he got it? No, he's not.
Got 72 left. 16s should be the target.
49.
And that's okay, because it still leaves him on an easier
Darren
two-darter.
requires 104.
104 for Herewini. Treble 18 would leave double 16. Can't do it, so Hamilton again
56.
getting the second bite at the cherry. 48 needed.
And he requires 48.
And he's the kind of guy that doesn't bite into cherries, he just swallows them. Double 16. This is for the set. And it's set, Andy Hamilton. It's 1-1, and there's that yelp from Hammer that makes this game evenly poised.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, third set, first leg. Andy to throw first. Game on.
That 150 checkout, certainly the real jewel in this match so far, and it came just after Herewini had thrown a maximum, first maximum of the match to. Oh, how about that? Coming back, Hamilton with his second. Yeah, I was saying he got that 150 after Herewini had just slotted
60.
in a maximum and set himself up needing double 4 for the match. Hamilton on 150, thank you very much.
I think Andy's focus coming back to this set is to just maintain a straight throw, because there are too many darts that were straying left and right, and one of the reasons why he was missing his doubles because his line was off. So I think the practice darts leading up to the start of this set will have been focused on that.
Already taking a healthy advantage. 1080 followed by 1031 so far, and he's come back from this little break rejuvenated. Good dart.
140.
Proper leg of darts from Andy Hamilton, leaving 50 after 9. He's almost forced Herewini to hit a 9 in this leg, because I can't envisage
60.
many scenarios,
And
even with missed doubles
50.
earlier, that he's not going to take this 50 out. He's looking at the northeast corner for the single.
Favourite double, double 16. Oh, just grazed the wire. Double 8 right next door. And he's taken it. 12-dot leg to come back from the break.
Second leg
that is
down to throw
handy.
first. Game on.
Handy. We were just talking about Darren in the break, John, and I was saying
100.
all my friends over in New Zealand were just saying how much of a great guy he is and what a big future he has. And this is the first real experience that he's getting on a big stage in front of cameras, and he's doing himself no harm.
43.
Well, he's very personable. He's got a likeable charm about him, and he's 28 years old. This is, as you say, his first big opportunity. I think we might see a little bit more of this fella in the years
57.
to come. If he can just move his game on, just that, not to another level, but just another half notch, if you like.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. He's got that lovely accent too. You know, where the Kiwis have a different way of saying their vowels. I love the way he says Andy's name, actually. Andy Hamilton.
140.
Yes always becomes yeast, doesn't it?
Before we get any tweets about our New Zealand accents, it's done affectionately because we love Kiwis.
100.
Hamilton 140 in his last visit. How's he going to add to that?
He's definitely tightened up that range on the 60, but on this occasion he's searching.
58.
In this tournament, John, I've seen from a lot of players some tactical mistakes, not using the 25 and bull to eliminate bullseye finishes and, you know, leave things like 116 or 96. But from Andy Hamilton, you are going to get tactical genius because he knows a dartboard better than most.
Always a very good counter, Andy. Down to 116. Herewini, he's on a finish. See how Hamilton can respond, and it doesn't look as though he's going to get enough. He's not.
46. Darren requires 116.
The 116 that you're talking about, so treble 20 would leave double 18.
Not on this occasion.
60.
But he's okay here with Andy not on a finish. And just to explain that point, John, really quickly, you'd much rather be on 116 than 121 because you can only, if you hit one big treble, guarantee a shot at a bullseye from 121. But if you hit a 25 to leave something south of 120,
48.
you're going to hit one treble to leave a double, which is a lot bigger than the bullseye. Just tactics.
Strange thing, there was a shout there just as Hamilton was setting himself. Well played, Herewini. One apiece. There was a shout came out. And, you know, this is a guy who's played Premier League darts and he's used to playing in front of a huge crowd. But sometimes when you've got a quieter atmosphere, such as here, the one voice can be more off-putting than 1,000 screaming in hoots of derision.
Absolutely, 100% true. I've played in front
60.
of 4,500 people in Minehead, where you can hear just a white noise, and it's great fun. But I remember playing at the Doncaster Dome in front of about 500 people, and there was one
100.
very unpleasant fellow at the back who I burned my vision through his head when he was saying very nasty things to me.
He's probably watching now and thinking, all these years later, I got to him. I got to him.
I did. I lost the match 6-5. Did miss the ball for a 170 in the final last leg. And Steve Brown 165. I won't forget that in a hurry.
60.
It always amazes me the recall that players have. Same with golf players. You know, they talk about matches they played 10 years ago and they seem to be able to remember every shot, and it's the same with darts players.
Yeah, if you mention that very thing to Andy Hamilton, there is only one name he's going to tell you.
49.
Alex Roy. Encyclopedic knowledge of every dart he's ever thrown. Quite incredible.
100.
We do actually have some esteemed company this evening at Indigo at the O2. Certain former world champion is walking the halls, practicing with Leighton Bennett, who's on tomorrow evening. That's Voltage Rob Cross.
Oh yeah, I saw Rob earlier on. There's another world champion two world champions
16.
we're going to be seeing later this evening as well. Wolfie Adams against Scott Waits. Waits favourite to win that one nowadays. Said to Wolfie, what sort of form are you in? Good darts. I said, what sort of form are you in? And he said, let's wait and see.
It's a political answer, that, from the Wolf. That's the kind of thing I would say. Now, this is a great number to talk about tactics, because if he doesn't get a treble with the first two, he'll look at the bull. 25 to leave 167.
19.
Excellently done.
Darren
great
requires 101.
So 101, Herewini. 9 would leave double 16. This for a break of throw.
85.
Just starting to find a little bit of extra fizz
Andy
is
requires
Darren.
142.
It's a good effort on that 101. And he's looking at the 60 option for the 142. If he got it, he would probably have stayed there. Hasn't missed it by much.
41.
But that is the white flag. He thinks Herewini's not going to miss the double A.
16.
I tend to agree.
Game
Good
shot
dart.
in the third leg. Darren Herewini.
He's starting to throw at his doubles with a lot more confidence now, Darren. 2-1, has his nose ahead. That's a break of throw.
Darren to throw first.
So Herewini
Game
now
on.
with the throw to take the second set.
There's not a great deal wrong with the throw of Herewini.
60.
Only thing I'd say is that when he brings the dart back towards his nose, the flight really does graze his nose. If he can just take that back lift without hitting his nose, he may have a little bit more control. There are certain players I've seen who have parts of their face or their nose where they like the dart flight to just graze it so they have a point of reference.
$58.
Hamilton has to break here to keep alive in this set.
It's been a real topsy-turvy contest, hasn't it, John?
Been a good match. There've not been huge averages. There's been too many missed
60.
doubles for that, but it's been dramatic.
Well, if you love the game like I do, I watch any game of darts and bite my fingernails.
60.
Three really good darts, just one of them didn't even fall in the lipstick. I wonder who it was who christened it the lipstick. I think it was the great Sid Waddell, wasn't it?
It sounds like a Waddellism to me.
36.
Did you have the pleasure of meeting Mr. Waddell?
I did. When I started doing darts commentary, I went over and watched a match and sat in the commentary box with
100.
Sid Waddell and Dave Lanning, and they were absolutely charming. Couldn't have been more helpful. You know, some people would be protecting their territory, if you like, and not, you know, being a bit wary of somebody new coming along. But Sid couldn't have been kinder. He was great.
Yeah, great guy. Grew up very close to where I grew up in southeast Northumberland.
117.
Very, very clever man who, of course, went to Oxford University.
History graduate.
I'll never forget the time I had dinner with him, and after the dessert, he thought it was prudent to have a
43.
séance. True story.
Let's see what Alan Evans and Leighton Rees make of this little gathering. Right. He needs 188, Hamilton. Good dart. Well, Herewini's under pressure now. That is absolutely what he wanted. 48, 16, double 16, and he's going to get a chance to go for it.
He's a trenches kind of guy, is Andy Hamilton. That 140 has just proved
140.
to be necessary.
Andy
What a
requires
response.
48.
Great response. 48 then, this for the break back to keep the set alive. Double 16. Huge dart. And he's got
Game
it!
shot on the fourth leg.
The roar from Andy Hamilton and it's 2-2, and he now has the darts to take this second set. On such moments can the outcome of darts matches swing. Great dart.
Well, 2 visits in this match for Andy Hamilton that involved the number 188. Herewini maxes it on that number and doesn't get a shot at double 4 because of Hamilton's 150 out. Then when Hamilton has it, he won 40s and he converts the 48. He could win the set and possibly break the spirit of Herewini in this leg.
60.
Hamilton then opening with the ton. Early advantage in what will be the deciding leg for this set. Such an important leg this. Probably the most important of the match so far.
Well, in set format,
101.
when the scores are level in the set column, it's 2-all. Who's going to take the impetus? Trying to give Andy any sort of positive energy right now. He's wearing vibrant purple, which is very similar to the hotly favoured Baltimore Ravens in the NFL. And their MVP, Lamar Jackson, he's a running type quarterback, and Andy wants to run forward and take this third set.
300 needed. Less 20. Oh, unlucky. Robin Hood shot.
That stem's been absolutely
40.
blasted. He's going to have to replace it.
That is unlucky.
Yeah, the metallic stem hits the plastic, or the metallic point hits the plastic stem. There's only one winner.
Oh,
60.
Well, Darren was throwing those. Running repairs underway, and it'll be just a second or two before Andy returns, having to replace and get that dart ship-shape once again.
Yeah, we do have pit stops in darts, and that's the equivalent of that. But thankfully we don't have VAR.
Let's not go into that one.
No, that conversation after last night's session got a bit vociferous.
140.
Fine return. His rhythm not broken. His concentration stands the test. And it's
94.
now going to be Shanghai
Andy
to
requires
win this set and go
120.
2-1 up. But he's got 6 darts ball.
Yeah, Herewini was in such a great spot to take the set himself, but Andy Hamilton has given himself this chance at tops, and it'll be the right-hand side of that skinny red bit at the top for the set.
80.
Too high, but if there is such a thing as a good miss, that was it.
Herewini, well, he needs a ton 40, doesn't he? A ton, absolute bare minimum. He's got to get that treble now. No, it's
60.
not there. Well, he's on a finish, but Hamilton,
Andy
massive favourite now.
40.
You can see Andy's fingertips going to work there, just trying to get a little bit of extra sweat on them, a little bit of extra grip for tops. 2 10s. Now it's double 7. Round the houses,
Game
but
shot.
it doesn't
And the
matter
third
because
set.
set 3 belongs to the hammer.
Andy Hamilton.
And Herewini needs to be perfect from here if he's going to go through.
Plays to his fans again, and as ever as they have over the years, they love to see him throwing
Game on.
and winning. And at the moment, that is what's happening. Herewini, though, good enough, you suspect, to come bouncing back.
100.
He's had loads of trials over the last week or so, Darren Herewini. His dart shirts were stuck in transit. One of his sponsorship patches, he forgot to get the stickers for it.
140.
He ended up asking me for one because we're sponsored by the same company, and I had to take the one off my luggage just so that he could proudly wear it.
58.
It was interesting beforehand. I was talking to Tony O'Shea, and also to Wolfie, and I mentioned about the odds for this match. and told them that Herewini was 6-4 on before the game began, and their reaction was almost
76.
exactly the same as yours. They, sort of serious raised eyebrows, as much as to say that's wrong, because Hamilton's experience is so important in this game.
It is. I have to remember that none of the players
58.
in either the ladies or the gents tournament have got any great experience on this stage. It's become the equaliser this week for me so far. Herewini, of course, comes into this match with a game under his belt, but that experience of Hamilton cannot be ignored.
134.
He's played World Championships at the Circus Tavern, Alexandra Palace, Lakeside, and here. Name me other players who have played at 4 different venues for World Championships. There can't
59.
be many.
Last year,
And he requires
he was beaten by
151.
Dave Cameron, who we saw in action earlier on, beaten by Nick Fulwell. And he almost wanted it too much, I sensed, 12 months ago. But there's a steadier sort of approach here in this
91.
match. Maybe just a bit more self-confidence, a bit more belief.
Yeah, I think so. He's been working on that a lot in the last 6 to 10 months. And 2 players who played at
120.
Lakeside last year in the Championship, Andy Hamilton making his debut
Andy
there, and Wes
requires
Newton, of course, and they both struggled. But
A break of throw.
he's going to need tops again. Got enough clearance for tops.
40 scored.
Well, he couldn't see that dart, John, because the other dart was in the way.
Good dart.
Shot in the first leg.
And he's ahead. That's a break of throw. And that is huge. Yeah, I think he was rather hoping that second dart had gone in. There's the
Second
replay
leg,
of the
Andy
moment
to throw first.
that he had the Robin Hood
Game
shot
on.
damaging the dart. Having to undergo running repairs. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a giveaway that the referee wasn't shouting game or anything. That was...
I know how he was feeling, because my darts go
62.
in at the very same angle that Andy's do. And when you got 60 and you hit the big single and you go for tops and you can't see whether it's in or not, you have that
96.
hopeful second of game shot in the first leg. Well, he didn't hear anything, so he had to go for double 10 and he got it anyway.
Says to lose now. That was a big moment in the match again. Averages, Hamilton's hoisted it up to 80. There were all those missed doubles early on, which had a catastrophic effect on his 3-dart average, but well, the averages are not what it's about, are they? It's a place in the next
140.
round, and he's ahead. It's good darts from Herewini, though.
We're looking at the averages only without the context of the game. Both guys could be said to have had a Western Super.
60.
Mare. But right now, Herewini, all he's got to do is battle. He knows all about that. And now he's left the 170. That's a really good tactic to use the 19s on 265.
Hamilton throw under enormous pressure. He knows it and wants a big hit. He's getting it. Superb.
180.
Best darts we've seen in this
Darren
match.
requires 170.
Arguably, the double 8 that he hit earlier was maybe the best individual dart.
The 150 checker wasn't too shabby.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad either. And that 134 from Herewini to leave double 18 wasn't bad as well.
Herewini favourite to get the break back, because Hamilton can't do anything about it at this stage. Oh, look at that. That's 5 perfect darts he's thrown.
138.
And the 18 was exactly what he
Darren
wanted, so he could make that 6.
36.
Double 18. Under so much pressure right now, and he gets it. There's a lovely little caress on that first flight. He's broken straight back.
What a good leg of darts that was.
Game on.
One of the Hamilton travelling contingent in fine voice.
100.
Well, in voice.
Well, Andreas Harrison this afternoon, the Swede, who ran the #1 seed Wesley Harms quite close. He had a lot of support. One guy in the crowd who was very passionate about the Swedish player. I think he might have had some sort of wager on him winning that match. Well, that betting slip has been torn up now.
125.
Certainly gave the #1 seed a scare, though. But if you weren't with us earlier on, that one went to the deciding set. Wesley eventually emerging the 3-2 winner.
Yeah, great last set from Wesley Harms. High quality stuff, and showed why he's the #1 seed. But too many misses for Andy in the one section.
66.
And a somewhat lackadaisical 60. He needed that. Too many steady scores from Darren today.
41.
Too much of that in between.
He's had 25 missed doubles, Andy Hamilton. Indicative of the way in which he's actually scored a lot more heavily than Herewini, but doubles have been his Achilles heel.
Well, when Herewini's got to a double, his
83.
ratio is actually decent, just under 50%. It just goes to show that the scoring element has really let him down today.
57.
Good tactics from Herewini, but bad execution on the 25 and bull cover. And for me, if I was Andy, if I don't get the 60 on dart 1, I'd go 19s. And then if he doesn't get the treble there, the 25 will leave a finish, but he's staying up top. Now he covers, and he needs a treble to leave a finish.
59.
Not good enough. And Herewini has 6 darts from 178. This is to take the 2-1 lead in the 4th set.
83.
Just that deflection on the first dart, which leaves him on 95, just offers Andy another chance in this leg. .95 left.
96.
Went for another to leave double 19. But that's enough pressure right now.
Darren requires 95.
95 then for Herewini. 70 required. Oh, he went treble 20.
45.
In
Well,
edgy situations, John, you've got to guarantee the single.
great
Andy requires
chance for Hamilton
76.
for the 3rd consecutive break of throw to go 2-1 up, an edge closer to victory in this match. Great dart, double 8.
Game
And
shown in the
that
third
was
leg.
a little bit of the Hamilton of old, tucking that away. And 2-1 up, and now has darts for the match.
A purposeful
Fourth leg, Andy
76
to
out
throw
from Hammer.
first. Game on.
Another thing that Andy's had to get used to over the course of the last 2 seasons on a World Championship stage is to see the computerized scoring system. In previous times, he will have been used to seeing 3 officials on stage,
60.
not just 1.
And there's the dart that took it. Yeah, you'd have seen somebody actually putting up the scores by hand as well. In the PDC side of the game,
99.
they still use the old-fashioned marker rather than the electronic scoreboard, which is positioned to the left of the players as they throw.
As far as first darts go, that's pretty much perfect for Andy. He can taper the next 2 in as well.
Whoa.
Oh, lovely stuff from Hammer.
180.
Punches the air, and he knows that he's closing in.
Cannot put a foot wrong from here, Herewini.
140.
Well, he answers with a pretty good 140.
Is it Hammer time here at Indigo? That's 181 remaining.
You were having a little sing-along to his walk-on earlier, John, weren't you?
Well, quite like that, yeah.
100.
Yeah, it's synonymous with Andy, and let's face it, nobody else can walk onto MC Hammer.
56.
doesn't get the 54,
So
so he moves up on 170.
So 6 darts from
161.
161. And Hamilton's through into the next round. Is that in the treble 20?
Very hard to make
50.
out, but it's only 50. It was in the treble 5, unbelievably.
Herewini breathes again and trying to make a big indentation on that 206.
100.
Get the feeling he may have
And he
needed more than
requires
that
111.
for the match. He needs a Nelson shot. One big treble, one single. That single will be single 19. And it's double 16 to finish it.
Game.
Oh, what a way to finish the game. Superb.